With its tender, juicy slices and smooth marbling that melts the moment it touches your tongue, Wagyu beef is not just food. It's a culinary masterpiece, priced up to 10 times higher than regular beef. But have you ever wondered, how are millions of Wagyu cattle raised and processed each year? The journey of this premium meat begins on tranquil farms, where each cow is raised under strict conditions and centuries-old breeding secrets. Once they meet the standard, the cattle are transported to processing plants, where cutting-edge technology meets traditional craftsmanship to produce the perfect slice of Wagyu. Today, join Agriculture Insight as we follow Wagyu cattle into the world of refined and luxurious cuisine and uncover the secrets behind why this meat is known as the red gold of gourmet dining. All will be revealed in this video. Wagyu, which means Japanese cow in Japanese, is more than just a cattle breed. It's considered a culinary national treasure of the land of the rising sun. Each year, Japan exports over $500 million worth of Wagyu beef, mainly to gourmet markets like the United States, Hong Kong, and Singapore. Wagyu's global fame lies in its signature marbling, the intricate web of intramuscular fat that runs like fine veins through the meat. Wagyu's marbling can exceed 40%, far surpassing the 5 to 10% typically found in regular beef. As a result, Wagyu melts at around body temperature, 30 degrees Celsius, delivering a buttery, rich, and melt-in-your-mouth experience, with prices reaching up to $1,000 per kilogram. For the Japanese, the Wagyu brand is protected more fiercely than gold. Renowned names like Kobe, Matsusaka, Omi, and Hida aren't just regions. They are icons of heritage, governed with strict regulations, much like the prestigious Bordeaux wines of France. Today, Wagyu is also raised in countries like Australia, the US, and Canada. But only purebred Japanese Wagyu truly preserves the class and soul of what's known as the red gold of the culinary world. To produce Wagyu cattle that yield melt-in-your-mouth beef with exquisite marbling, each worth tens of thousands of dollars, everything must be precise from the very first step, breeding. Today, most Wagyu farms rely on artificial insemination to control genetics, selecting only the best traits from elite bulls with exceptional marbling scores. The cows are also carefully chosen based on health and lineage before entering the breeding cycle. Semen collected from the bull is processed, cryopreserved, and then injected into the cow's uterus. Before this, farmers manually remove feces from the rectum and clean the vulva to maintain hygiene, prevent infection, and accurately locate the insemination site. Once everything is ready, the semen is inserted using a thin tube called a catheter, reaching the cervix, where fertilization occurs. Though the procedure takes only a few minutes, it lays the foundation for a nearly 3-year journey to produce some of the most valuable Wagyu beef in the world. After fertilization, the cow remains pregnant for over 9 months before giving birth. Wagyu cows typically deliver only 1 calf per pregnancy, allowing the calf to develop fully and ensuring the highest future meat quality. When the calf is born, it is still wet and weak. The mother cow licks the calf clean to warm it up, stimulate blood circulation, and establish the initial bond between mother and offspring. But within 30 minutes to an hour, it begins trying to stand and instinctively searches for its mother's udder to drink colostrum, a vital first source of nutrition. During the first 3 months after birth, Wagyu calves receive special care to ensure strong immunity and steady growth. The most critical early stage is providing enough colostrum within the first 6 to 12 hours, which transfers essential antibodies from the mother. After that, the calf continues to nurse from the mother or is fed a specialized milk formula with added minerals and vitamins if necessary. In the first few weeks, it's vital to keep the calf warm, and the shelter must remain dry and clean to prevent diarrhea, a common illness in newborn calves. From around the 2nd to 3rd week, farmers gradually introduce soft hay and concentrated feed to prepare the calf for eventual weaning. When Wagyu calves reach 3 to 4 months of age, they are weaned, and moved to special pens for young cattle. Calves are grouped by age, with 5 to 10 animals per group, living in spacious barns lined with thick, dry straw to retain warmth, absorb waste, and prevent slipping. Their environment is kept quiet and well ventilated, as Wagyu cattle are especially sensitive to stress and surroundings. Each morning, old straw is removed and manure is collected using shovels or specialized suction machines, then replaced with fresh, dry straw to keep the barn clean and odor-free. Outside resting hours, the cattle are let out into open yards or nearby grassy areas at fixed times for light exercise. This free movement not only improves metabolism, but also helps reduce stress, a key factor that directly affects future marbling quality. Alongside housing conditions, the secret to producing melt-in-your-mouth Wagyu beef with intricate marbling lies in its unique diet. Unlike conventional beef cattle, which are raised quickly for maximum weight using fresh grass and byproducts to cut costs, Wagyu are raised slowly on a diet rich in starch and low in fiber. This includes hay, straw, rice bran, grains, brewer's mash, and fermented soybeans. Wagyu are fed 2 to 3 times a day, with carefully balanced rations to control energy intake and fat accumulation. And have you ever seen a cow drink beer? With Wagyu, that's a real thing. Some farms in Japan give their cattle beer during the summer to stimulate appetite. While there's no definitive scientific proof, this distinctive feeding regimen is credited with helping Wagyu beef achieve its signature tenderness, exquisite marbling, and sky-high value. Beyond diet and exercise, Wagyu cattle are cared for like true VIPs. To maintain physical condition and prevent illness, their hooves are trimmed every 2 to 3 months, a seemingly minor task but essential for joint health and maintaining a strong, stable gait. Their coats are also brushed with soft brushes to remove dirt, stimulate blood circulation, and help them relax, especially during hot weather. Though these steps may sound simple, they play a crucial role in keeping Wagyu cattle calm and healthy. And a relaxed, well-cared-for body is the foundation for producing rich, tender meat that no growth-enhancing technology can replicate. After nearly 3 years of being pampered like four-legged royalty, Wagyu cattle enter their final stage, preparation for harvest. A premium-grade Wagyu must be between 28 to 32 months old, weigh at least 600 to 700 kilograms, and have the ideal marbling ratio, strong physical condition, and stable mental state. Farmers carefully guide the cattle onto specially designed transport trucks equipped with non-slip floors, roofs, and partitioned sections to ensure safety and comfort throughout the journey. As a sensitive breed, Wagyu must be transported gently, without rushing, and with minimal loud noise to avoid stress. Upon arrival at the processing facility, the cattle are guided into a designated resting area. This recovery period allows the animals to recover from transportation, stabilize their heart rate, reduce stress, and regulate blood circulation. The processing begins as the cattle are brought onto the production line, where the hide and internal organs are removed in one piece and transferred to specialized handling areas. Once these steps are completed, the remaining carcass is hung on a rack using dedicated hooks to keep the body upright and balanced. Next, the carcass is split in half along the spine, a critical step that ensures precise chilling and grading in the subsequent stages. The factory environment is kept cool and dry, with spotless, polished floors to maintain hygiene and ensure a smooth, uninterrupted workflow. After the initial processing, the carcass is moved into the chilling room, a sealed space maintained at a stable temperature between 0 to 2 degrees Celsius, with around 85% humidity, for 24 to 36 hours, allowing the muscle fibers to fully relax, moisture to distribute evenly, and internal biochemical reactions to continue slowly. Under angled inspection lights, specialists examine key indicators: fineness, density, coverage, and uniformity of the intramuscular fat, the traits that define Wagyu's aesthetic appeal and signature melt-in-your-mouth texture when cooked. Based on these results, the meat is classified into different quality grades, typically labeled with scores or letters according to each country's or plant's standards. Every graded section is tagged with traceability labels detailing origin, aging date, and classification code. In Japan, Wagyu beef is graded using a system that combines letters A or C with numbers from 1 to 5. The letter indicates the yield, how much usable meat is obtained after butchering, while the number reflects the meat quality, including color, tenderness, and especially marbling, the fine white streaks of fat running through the muscle. A5 is the highest grade, meaning the cow yields a high amount of meat with near-perfect quality. The top-rated A5 cuts, especially those from famed regions like Kobe, Matsusaka, or Hida, are brought to exclusive auctions for valuation. There, each cut is hung under angled lighting to highlight its marble-like fat patterns. Experts and distributors can assess a cut's worth with just a glance. Prices are not fixed. Depending on perfection, origin, and brand, a single cut can fetch tens of thousands of US dollars. High-end restaurants, five-star hotels, and luxury retailers fiercely compete to acquire these elite Wagyu cuts, not just for their quality, but for the prestige and status they represent. From the grading area, the carcasses are moved to the next processing zone, a quiet, focused space where concentration is held at an almost meditative level. Every movement here is steady and deliberate, as if everyone understands they are working with an ingredient that is not only valuable, but also requires the utmost respect and care. Before butchering begins, the back and belly fat, prized for their light color, softness, and elasticity, are carefully removed. These are preserved whole and sent to a specialized section for use in premium product lines or high-end culinary applications. The carcass is then laid on a cutting table and separated according to its natural muscle structure: ribeye, brisket, shank, shoulder. Each cut is handled with precision to preserve the marbling patterns nurtured over hundreds of days. Every slice is then inspected, neatly arranged in trays, or vacuum sealed on the spot. Packaging follows immediately, seamless, without delay, and with minimal exposure to outside air. A traceability label is printed and applied the same day, showing origin, processing date, and specific cut type. This entire flow blends precision machinery with skilled hands. Workers trained not just to see and touch, but to sense quality through experience. No software can replicate. This balance ensures the factory maintains consistent output while preserving the full value of each cut, just as it was when first carved. But have you ever wondered, how do you cook a piece of Wagyu beef that's as precious as red gold to truly honor its value? In reality, grilling Wagyu is surprisingly simple, and it's that very simplicity that brings out its true excellence. Each slice is left at room temperature for 15 to 20 minutes before cooking to allow the fat to soften evenly and avoid thermal shock. Then, it's placed on a cast iron pan or grill, preheated to around 200 to 220 degrees Celsius. No oil, no elaborate seasoning, just a pinch of fine salt. Each side is seared for only 30 to 45 seconds, just enough for the fat to begin melting and form a lightly crisped, aromatic crust, while the inside stays tender, juicy, and rich in flavor. A gentle flip, even sear, and a short resting period. That's all it takes to reach perfection. A bite that melts the moment it touches your tongue. With Wagyu, it's not about complexity. It's about restraint. Letting the natural richness speak for itself is the key to preserving the essence nurtured through every single day of its journey from farm to table. Although China accounts for 97% of the world's goose population, hold a dominant advantage in production. The United States, with farms like Hudson Valley and La Belle Farms, stands out for its premium foie gras standards. Here, modern technology combined with rigorous care transforms foie gras into a work of art, delivering a refined flavor and silky texture that top chefs worldwide seek after. Goose liver is valued at 5 to 10 times the price of ordinary chicken or duck liver. Nutritionally, it is rich in vitamins A, B12, and iron, offering not only a rich, creamy taste, but also significant health benefits. Geese are considered the final boss of the feathered world. Long before guard dogs became common, the Romans, Greeks, and Egyptians used geese as natural alarms due to their keen hearing and loud honking. Geese readily chase and bite intruders, creating a powerful natural defense. Additionally, geese have been known to fly as high as 9,000 meters, higher than airplanes, and once caused an Airbus to make an emergency landing after a collision with them. The journey of the renowned foie gras begins in spring, when temperatures reach an ideal range of 10 to 20 degrees Celsius and the days start to lengthen. This is the time when the geese naturally awaken their breeding instincts, syncing perfectly with the abundance of food and increased sunlight, marking the start of a meaningful new life cycle. First, the mother geese are separated from the flock and placed into isolated, quiet, and clean pens, designed to minimize noise and other stress-inducing factors. Inside each pen, caretakers prepare separate nesting boxes, lined with soft, dry straw, creating a warm and secure environment that mimics a natural nest in the meadow. While chickens and ducks typically have a stable diet year-round, geese require seasonal nutrition, especially in spring when they begin laying eggs. They are fed fresh grass, soaked grains, finely chopped vegetables, and are provided with clean water that is changed daily. Thanks to this care, mother geese lay eggs regularly and steadily, averaging 1 to 2 eggs per laying session over several consecutive weeks. At the same time, the geese are also allowed daily freedom within a fenced area, helping them maintain natural movement habits, stay physically healthy, and reduce stress throughout the breeding period. At most farms, eggs are collected shortly after the mother geese lay them. Geese have a strong instinct to incubate their eggs, much like wild bird species, but not every individual is patient or effective at doing so. Therefore, egg collection must be done gently and precisely to avoid cracking the shells or causing temperature shocks, both of which can seriously affect embryo quality. Qualified eggs are carefully placed in specialized plastic trays before being transported to the hatchery. There, they undergo cleaning, sorting, and are numbered based on identification bands worn by the parent geese. This system allows genetic traceability, monitoring of reproductive performance, and evaluation of breeding stock quality. Next, the eggs are placed in specialized incubators, where conditions like temperature are precisely controlled, maintaining a stable environment around 37.5 degrees Celsius. Over the course of 30 days, the eggs are automatically turned at regular intervals, mimicking the natural turning motion of a mother goose, ensuring even heat distribution throughout the embryo. During this period, caretakers regularly candle the eggs using specialized lights to monitor embryo development. Eggs without embryos or with weak embryos are removed early to protect the rest of the batch. The remaining eggs continue to be carefully incubated until hatching, marking the beginning of the journey for the first goslings. And then, when the incubation period ends, the goslings begin their birth by using their tiny beaks to peck repeatedly at the sturdy eggshell. Their eyes still half closed, a faint cry sounds out like a signal for a new life just beginning. At hatching, each weighs about 90 to 120 grams, covered all over with a soft, pale yellow down, as delicate as morning dew. But this innocent moment doesn't last long. The female goslings are culled from the process, and only the males are kept to continue on a more rigorous journey, for the purpose of raising them for high-quality meat or feather production. The goslings are immediately transferred to a special care area, equipped with infrared heating lamps, clean rice husk bedding, and well-ventilated air, but carefully shielded to prevent drafts. The temperature inside is consistently maintained at 32 degrees Celsius, then gradually lowered week by week to help them adapt to natural conditions. They are fed ground corn and rice bran and regularly monitored to detect any early signs of health issues. Once stronger, usually after 5 to 7 days old, the goslings are switched to a specialized diet with feed rich in protein and minerals, supporting even development of muscles, bones, and overall condition. On average, each gosling consumes about 80 to 120 grams of feed per day, depending on age and breed, marking a solid step forward in a strictly controlled nurturing process from the earliest days of life. At around 6 to 8 weeks old, the goslings begin a noticeable transformation. Their soft down feathers gradually fall out, making way for thick white or gray plumage. Their bodies grow visibly larger, their steps become steadier, and their calls grow louder and more confident. By about 2 months old, they are moved to a more spacious rearing area, usually lush green pastures or semi-open, well-ventilated pens filled with sunlight and fresh air, often with ponds or lakes where they can swim freely. Regular exercise, especially swimming, not only helps develop strong muscles and boost immunity, but also enhances endurance and adaptability to natural living conditions. Meanwhile, the caregivers maintain a nutritious diet rich in energy and vitamins to ensure steady, even growth for the entire flock. Unlike many bird species, geese are among the most faithful animals in the animal kingdom. Once they choose a mate, they remain bonded for life. When one goose dies, the other may fall into depression or live quietly until the end of its days. Before diving into the process of producing foie gras, let's first explore the processing of goose meat, a crucial step to better understand the transformation journey from a live goose into high-quality ingredients on the dining table. At the processing plant, the geese are hung on a semi-automatic conveyor system. First, they are stunned using CO2 gas, a modern method that helps reduce stress and facilitates subsequent processing. Immediately after, the goose bodies pass through a hot water bath, maintained at 60 to 65 degrees Celsius for several tens of seconds, which helps expand the pores. The plucking process is done manually, ensuring maximum protection of the goose skin and meat, while creating optimal conditions for liver extraction later on. Every step is strictly controlled to ensure product quality and food safety throughout the processing. The breast, thigh, wing, and neck, each part is carefully separated according to precise ratios and standards. On average, each worker can process 40 to 50 geese per hour with nearly perfect accuracy. They not only divide the meat, but also inspect the texture, color, and elasticity to ensure the meat quality meets the required standards. After sorting, each piece of goose meat is transferred to a modern packaging line. Some are vacuum packed to maximize freshness, while others are frozen at 18 degrees Celsius for long-term storage. Labels clearly indicate the origin, processing date, and food safety certification standards. Finally, these cuts of goose meat are ready to leave the factory, no longer just lifeless carcasses, but valuable ingredients featured in the world's most refined culinary dishes. Besides goose meat, there is another material that might seem like waste or useless: goose down feathers, often thought of as mere floating byproducts, but they are actually the key ingredient for producing some of the world's most luxurious down comforters. After being collected from the processing plant, the down feathers begin a meticulous transformation journey, including sorting, washing, sterilizing, drying, fluffing, and packaging. Each step takes place in a sterile environment with the support of modern machinery to preserve the feathers' lightness, softness, and outstanding heat retention. Only the finest down clusters are selected for the comforter filling, prized for their ultra-lightweight, excellent elasticity, and especially their gentleness on sensitive skin. Once fully processed, the down is blown into the comforter's interior through an automatic filling system, ensuring even distribution like clouds spread across the sky with no clumping or shifting to one corner. The comforter's cover is usually made from organic cotton or premium silk, breathable, durable, and perfectly balancing, elegant on the outside, cozy on the inside. The result is a comforter as light as a cloud, warm as an embrace, able to accompany you through all 4 seasons while providing maximum comfort. Don't miss the most crucial part of the goose farming journey, the foie gras production process. one of the advanced technological secrets that attracts global attention. The fattening stage is both the key step and the most controversial phase in goose farming, especially due to concerns about animal welfare. Typically, geese enter this stage at 12 to 14 weeks old, after completing the initial rearing period to develop a healthy physique, preparing for the final phase that produces high-quality foie gras. The fattening stage typically lasts about 18 days under a strict regimen. During this period, each goose consumes up to 1.5 kilograms of food daily, approximately 7 times its normal requirement. The feed is directly delivered into the goose's stomach through a specialized narrow tube within just a few seconds, ensuring precise dosage and timing to maintain uniform liver quality. This process is repeated regularly to increase the liver size by 7 to 10 times its normal volume. During the fattening stage, the mortality rate of geese can rise to 10% or more due to food poisoning, internal organ damage, or complications related to stress and depression. Many countries such as the UK, Germany, Italy, and Norway have banned foie gras production within their territories due to ongoing controversies surrounding the practice. After the geese are thoroughly cleaned, they are transferred to the liver extraction area. Experienced technicians carefully perform the liver removal process, using precise techniques to keep the liver intact. At the same time, they assess the liver's quality by observing its color and manually feeling its texture. Next, the liver is placed on a refrigerated conveyor belt and stored under strictly controlled temperature conditions, typically maintained between 0 degrees and 4 degrees Celsius, to preserve freshness and prevent bacterial growth. This precise temperature control helps maintain the liver's delicate texture and distinctive flavor before it proceeds to the next stages of processing. Standard quality livers typically have a pale yellow color, a smooth texture, and weigh between 400 to 600 grams. Additionally, the liver is carefully sliced into thin pieces, each about 1.5 to 2 centimeters thick, precisely enough to preserve its delicate, smooth texture while preventing any breakage or crumbling. These slices are then rapidly frozen at 18 degrees Celsius to lock in freshness and maintain optimal quality. If you think foie gras is simply processed like that, you might be underestimating the dedication of those who spend months perfecting each liver. Indeed, foie gras is also the key ingredient in the famous pâté, rich, flavorful, and irresistibly smooth. Beyond traditional preparation methods to satisfy even the most discerning palates, foie gras is elevated into premium canned pâté. The liver is finely ground with rich stock and carefully selected spices, then cooked until it reaches a creamy, smooth consistency. This mixture is cooled and automatically filled into sterile cans. Next comes the modern high-pressure processing, HPP sterilization, preserving the natural flavors while ensuring absolute safety. Finally, the product is labeled and packaged, ready to captivate gourmet lovers everywhere. Next time you savor foie gras pâté, you will surely remember the dedication and meticulous care of those who spent months transforming a simple ingredient into a luxurious delicacy. The United States leads the world in cheese production, making up about 25% of the global supply. At the heart of this is Wisconsin, aptly called the cheese state, where an astounding 3.5 billion pounds of cheese are produced each year. Cheese is more than just a beloved food. It's a vital part of the U.S. economy, contributing over $64 billion annually and driving growth in the dairy industry. With a rich history and an endless variety, cheese comes in hundreds of different forms, yet the process remains the same. Milk is processed, curdled, whey is separated, the cheese is pressed, salted, aged, and then packaged. Each step plays a crucial role in shaping the flavor, texture, and overall quality of the finished product. In the US, cheddar cheese is one of the most popular and widely produced types of cheese, accounting for nearly 30% of the country's total cheese production. In advanced production facilities, every step of the process is a crucial link, where humans and machines work in harmony to create smooth, golden blocks of cheese with a rich, perfect flavor. The journey to creating these smooth, golden cheddar blocks begins on lush green farms, where healthy cows are raised under strict conditions to produce high-quality fresh milk. Skilled farmers, supported by modern milking machines, carefully harvest every drop of pristine milk, preserving its natural flavor and freshness. After being carefully selected, the milk enters the pasteurization stage, a precise process designed to eliminate harmful bacteria while preserving its natural flavor. In large processing tanks, the milk is quickly heated to about 161.6 Fahrenheit for a few seconds, then immediately cooled down. The machinery operates with pinpoint accuracy down to the millisecond, but it is the human supervisors who ensure that no mistakes occur. To create the signature flavor of cheddar cheese, lactic bacteria are added to the milk. These beneficial bacteria help ferment the milk and thicken it into a more solid form. At the same time, a small amount of annatto, a natural colorant extracted from the seeds of the achiote tree, may be added to give cheddar its distinctive orange hue. When the enzyme rennet is introduced, the milk begins to coagulate into curds. With the help of robotic arms stirring the mixture, the curd is cut into uniform pieces using special cutting grids, allowing the whey to drain more efficiently. Unlike many other cheeses, cheddar undergoes a unique process known as cheddaring, which helps create its firm, elastic texture and characteristic bounce. After separating the whey, large blocks of curd are stacked on top of each other to allow gravity to press out excess moisture. But the process doesn't stop there. The curd is continuously flipped, folded, and pressed in cycles, tightening the protein structure. Initially soft and crumbly, the curd becomes firmer with each turn while still retaining its ideal elasticity. In industrial production, salt may be applied either before or after the curd is broken into smaller pieces, depending on the technology used by the factory. In some places, salt is sprinkled directly onto the curd strips right after the cheddaring process, then sent through a large funnel machine to break the curd into smaller pieces. This method allows the salt to evenly permeate each piece of curd during the cutting process, eliminating the need for additional mixing afterward. Alternatively, some factories opt to break the curd first, then add salt and mix it thoroughly to ensure optimal absorption. Regardless of the method, the main goal is to use the salt to control moisture, aid in fermentation, enhance the flavor, and extend the shelf life of the cheddar cheese. While the science of making cheddar cheese is essential, the aging process is truly an art. After being pressed into molds, the blocks of cheddar are placed in aging rooms where temperature and humidity are strictly controlled. Here, enzymes and bacteria continue to work, breaking down proteins and fats to develop the cheese's distinct flavor. The aging period can range from a few months to over 10 years, and it ultimately determines the flavor and texture of the cheese. Young cheddar, 3 to 6 months, has a mild, creamy taste and smooth texture. Aged cheddar, 2 to 10 years, becomes firmer, crumblier, with a rich, sharp flavor that may have a bit of spiciness and a long-lasting finish. The glistening tyrosine crystals on the surface are a sign of a perfectly aged cheddar. In modern factories, once the cheddar has fully aged, it is packaged entirely by automated systems to ensure quality and extend shelf life. Large blocks of cheese are cut into smaller portions using industrial machines, sliced or shredded based on market demand. The cheese then moves to the automated packaging line, where machines perform vacuum sealing, wrap it in plastic, or coat it with wax to prevent moisture loss and protect it from bacteria. Finally, the product is labeled, quality checked, and sent to cold storage before being distributed to the market. Alongside modernly packaged cheddar, Parmesan stands as one of the world's most beloved cheeses, particularly in the US and Europe. Officially known as Parmigiano Reggiano, Parmesan is not only famous but also crowned the king of cheeses for its rich flavor, firm texture, and impressive aging ability. Compared to cheddar or mozzarella, this cheese undergoes a more stringent production process and a much longer aging period, resulting in a distinct difference in both taste and texture. One of the standout features of Parmesan is its production in copper vats, something rare in today's cheesemaking world. Most modern factories have switched to using stainless steel vats, as they're easier to clean and maintain. However, traditional cheesemakers still swear by copper, as it better conducts heat, allowing the milk curdling process to occur more efficiently and contributing to the complex flavor development during the aging phase. This is what gives Parmesan its signature, crisp, crumbly texture. The curdling process of Parmesan is similar to that of cheddar. However, instead of using an automatic curd cutter, traditional cheesemakers rely on the spino, a long stirring stick with a fan-shaped blade, to cut the curd into uniform small grains, helping to remove the whey more efficiently. In large-scale production, the spino is often replaced by an automated stirring machine with stainless steel blades, speeding up the process and ensuring consistency across batches. Nevertheless, cutting curd with the spino results in grains that aren't perfectly uniform, contributing to the distinctive crumbly texture of Parmesan. Once the curd has fully set, it sinks to the bottom of the vat, where it's collected using linen cloth, pressed into a large block, placed into round molds, and gradually pressed to remove any remaining whey in preparation for the salt bath. A significant difference between Parmesan and cheddar lies in the salting process. While cheddar uses dry salt, which is sprinkled directly onto the curd after the cheddaring process to control moisture and flavor, Parmesan is fully immersed in a saltwater bath. This process lasts from 18 to 25 days, depending on the size of the cheese wheel. The salt bath allows Parmesan to gradually absorb the salt, develop a natural hard rind, and contribute to the signature crumbly texture that defines the cheese as it continues to age. After the salt bath, the Parmesan wheels are left to dry naturally before entering the aging phase. Another distinctive feature of Parmesan is that each cheese wheel is stamped with the words Parmigiano Reggiano, along with the factory's registration number, allowing for traceability and ensuring quality. This is rare among mass-produced cheeses, which typically just get packaged without any special identifying marks. In large-scale factories, the cheese pressing process is often automated, instead of relying on gravity and the lengthy process used in traditional methods. While this boosts production efficiency, it can affect the natural firmness of handcrafted Parmesan. Parmesan is aged for a minimum of 12 months, with many cheese wheels maturing for up to 60 months. The longer the aging, the more intense the flavor becomes, developing complex notes of butter, hazelnut, light caramel, and sometimes even a rich umami flavor. Compared to other popular cheeses, Parmesan has a much longer aging process, which helps create its signature crumbly texture and exceptional storage ability. Notably, during aging, Parmesan develops tyrosine crystals, giving it a light crunch when you bite into it, something few other cheeses can boast. Another highly consumed cheese in the US is mozzarella, renowned for its soft, stretchy texture and excellent meltability. Thanks to its smooth melting ability and mild flavor, mozzarella is the top choice for many dishes, especially pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and salads. Unlike harder cheeses like cheddar or Parmesan, mozzarella doesn't undergo a lengthy aging process. Instead, it is used fresh, preserving its high moisture content and characteristic elastic texture. One of the most important steps in creating mozzarella's signature texture is the pasta filata process. Unlike other cheeses that are pressed and aged to form a firm texture, mozzarella undergoes a special kneading and stretching process. Once mozzarella reaches the desired stretchiness, the cheese is formed into small balls, large blocks, or long strands, depending on the intended use. An important step in this process is immersing the cheese in cold water or brine to set the shape, stabilize the structure, and extend its shelf life. So, we've explored together the modern factories where cheese is produced through a meticulous process, blending advanced technology with traditional expertise to create unique flavors loved all around the world. Now let's find out the most important ingredient of cheese: dairy milk. Canola is a key crop in the production of cooking oil and biofuels, contributing over $11 billion annually to the U.S. economy. It is widely grown in states like North Dakota, Montana, and Minnesota, thriving under ideal climate conditions. After 90 to 150 days, when the fields transition from vibrant yellow to golden brown, the harvest season begins. Modern combine harvesters are brought in, ensuring fast, efficient harvesting, while maintaining the highest quality of the seeds. The endless fields and the seamless operation of advanced technology create a stunning scene, a perfect blend of tradition and innovation, showcasing the strength of American agriculture. At the end of summer, American farmers begin the rapeseed harvesting process. To ensure the seeds reach optimal quality and minimize losses, they often start with a method called swathing. This critical step involves cutting the rapeseed plants and arranging them neatly into rows on the field. This practice not only helps the seed pods dry more evenly, but also reduces the risk of shattering. It also provides farmers flexibility in harvesting, even when the weather becomes unpredictable. Once the rows of rapeseed are dry enough, modern combine harvesters take over. Equipped with advanced cutting blades and threshing systems, these machines quickly collect the rows of rapeseed, carefully separating the tiny black seeds from the plant stalks. Using smart threshing technology, these combines minimize losses while leaving the stalks neatly behind on the field to decompose naturally, returning valuable nutrients to the soil. Each advanced combine harvester can process between 15,000 and 20,000 pounds of rapeseed per hour, depending on field conditions and the equipment's efficiency. To ensure maximum efficiency and productivity, the combine harvester takes on this critical task. These machines are equipped with an integrated cleaning system that removes larger debris, such as leaves and stems, leaving behind only clean canola seeds. The harvested seeds are then collected into large onboard storage tanks. Once the tanks are full, the seeds are quickly transferred to trucks stationed at the edge of the field, ready for transport to silos or processing facilities. On large farms, multiple combine harvesters work simultaneously, moving rhythmically across the field like a technological army. A modern combine harvester can process between 20,000 to 25,000 pounds of canola per hour, depending on field conditions and machine configurations. This process not only saves time, but also ensures that every canola seed is harvested with precision and efficiency, perfectly prepared for the next stages of production. Canola plays an important role in the production of cooking oil and biofuels in the United States. While the U.S. is not among the top canola-producing countries, like Canada or Australia, it still maintains a significant production level, contributing to the global market. American farmers have embraced advanced technology and sustainable farming practices to improve production efficiency and the quality of canola seeds. This adaptability and innovation allow the U.S. to maintain a steady supply ensuring global food security and strengthening its position in international agricultural trade. At the canola processing plant, the journey of canola seeds from the field to the table begins with great energy. Trucks loaded with tons of freshly harvested canola seeds roar through the factory gates, delivering a rich supply of raw materials from vast farmlands. Canola seeds are carefully weighed and inspected right from the start to ensure consistent quality before being moved to the conveyor belt. On the conveyor, they go through an initial cleaning process using modern sieving and air-blowing systems that completely remove impurities such as leaves, stems, soil, and other debris. Once cleaned, the seeds are transferred to specialized crushers. These machines gently break the outer shells of the seeds, separating the oil-rich kernels inside without compromising their nutritional value. The remaining shells are often collected and repurposed as livestock feed or secondary materials. This preparation process is a crucial foundation, setting the stage for the efficient extraction of canola oil in the following steps. Ensuring maximum utilization of the raw materials and maintaining product quality. First, the canola seeds are gently heated for a short period to soften them and enhance oil extraction efficiency. Then, they are sent to a mechanical press, where high pressure separates the majority of crude oil from the seeds. This initial step yields crude oil and a byproduct known as seed meal. The seed meal still contains some oil, and to extract it fully, it is processed in an extraction machine using a solvent. At this stage, hexane, a commonly used and safe solvent, dissolves the remaining oil from the meal. Once the oil is extracted with the solvent, it goes through an evaporation process to remove any residual hexane, ensuring the oil is safe and free from impurities. Finally, the entire batch of oil collected from both stages is filtered through advanced filtration systems to remove even the smallest particles or residues. The purified oil is then stored in large tanks, ready for refining or distribution. This process guarantees the highest quality oil for further processing or consumer use. Once refined, the canola oil is sent to an automated packaging line. Transparent bottles, sterilized carefully, are precisely filled with oil and securely capped. High-speed labeling machines attach labels to each bottle, providing information about the brand, nutrition, and origin. The bottles are then carefully packed into boxes and neatly arranged on pallets by modern robotic arms, ready for transportation to stores or warehouses. These products are stored under ideal conditions to maintain their quality and freshness. Canola oil is not just a healthy cooking ingredient, it's also a symbol of sustainability and versatility. Packed with omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, this oil supports heart health and is perfect for all cooking methods, whether frying, baking, or making salad dressings. Beyond the kitchen, canola oil plays a key role in the production of biofuels and various industrial applications, highlighting the timeless value of this crop. Have you ever wondered how the U.S. manages to achieve such massive annual canola production? Let's dive into the fascinating and highly modern process behind those impressive numbers. In early spring, as the canola fields prepare for their first seeds, the land undergoes careful preparation. After a cold winter, the soil is loosened using modern equipment like disc plows and tillers, improving aeration and clearing out weeds. Organic fertilizers are evenly spread by automated spreaders, providing essential nutrients to enrich the soil. This groundwork sets the stage for a bountiful harvest. The tiny seeds, coated with protective layers to shield them from pests and diseases, are planted using advanced seed drills. Each seed is placed about 0.5 to 1 inch deep, with ideal spacing between rows to ensure the plants get ample sunlight and airflow. Thanks to this technology, fields spanning dozens of acres can be planted in just a single day. Applying herbicides and spraying pesticides at critical stages of the plant's growth cycle. This carefully managed process ensures that canola plants stay healthy, free from pests, and achieve maximum yield. After just 40 to 60 days, canola fields transform into vibrant seas of golden flowers. This is not only the most visually stunning phase, but also the most critical for yield. While canola is self-pollinating, the presence of honeybees and wild bees significantly enhances pollination efficiency. Now you've discovered the fascinating journey of canola, from its golden fields to the production of high-quality oil. Thank you for coming along on this exploration of a crop that's so vital to agriculture and our daily lives. If you have any questions or ideas to share, drop them in the comments below. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe to stay tuned for more exciting stories about farming and food production. See you in the next video.